Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I am Lady Calamere and I am doing my 77th video. It will be on the Hindu god Chandra. Chandra is the god of the moon, and yes, there are moon gods, and yes, there are plenty of moon gods, just as there are plenty of sun goddesses. So Chandra is a moon god, and he has many names, and some of them include the name Soma, which Soma was also a Vedic deity, but later on Chandra kind of becomes Soma, and I'll get into Soma, what Soma is, in a minute. Indu, which means bright drop. There is also Rajanipati, which means the Lord of the Night. Kumudara, the Lord of the Lotus. Udapati, which means the Lord of Water. Shashin, which means marked by hair. H-A-R-E, not H-A-I-R. Hair, as in sort of like a rabbit. A little bit different. Shuparaka means one who lights up the night. He's also called, trying to think of the name, Nakshatrapati, which means the Lord of Nakshatra. So Chandra means illumination or illuminated. And as you see, I have some cards here. Trying to get this for you guys. So we have this card, and I'm trying to find, where did I put the deck at? Don't I feel silly? I don't have the deck with me. Nope. I thought I had the box with me. Well, that sucks, because I wanted to give credit where credit is due, and I'm not walking back into the room. So we also have this Chandra from the Gods and Goddesses card deck, and we also have this. Oh, it was under this deck. So Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. This is just the back of the card, but it has the moon, so. We also, here's the deck, the Morgan Greer, the moon. So Chandra, he's one of the Navagrahas, which are the 9 planets in Hindu astrology. And I know the moon isn't a planet, it's a satellite. We know this. But in Hindu astrology, it's considered the Navagraha, which is the 9 planets. Soma, I said I'd go into it. Soma is not only a lunar deity, but also sap from plants. It's also an intoxicating drink that Indra drinks. He drinks that. Soma, not only that, it's also a chakra, a lesser known chakra, but very important chakra. Okay, so if you look at your Ajna chakra, your third eye, which is between both your eyes, is the third eye chakra. Now go above that. That's your Soma, which is below the Guru chakra. And the Guru chakra is right below the Sahasrara chakra, which is your crown chakra. So wait, above the third eye is the Soma chakra. And sometimes you may feel like a liquid going through your body, and you look and there's no liquid. That's actually said to be like the Soma chakra, and it releases a blissful, almost like a blissful fluid. once you contact that chakra and work with it, and sometimes it may or may not open with or without your knowledge, but it is a higher chakra, and it's a chakra that brings bliss, among other things, but it's a very highly spiritual chakra. So Soma is those things. In fact, Chandra day is Monday, and it's pronounced two ways. Somvar in India, so in the Sanskrit Somvar, Soma and Somavara. Both pronunciations are correct. Chandra's day is Monday. So, and the direction for worship of him is northwest, the northwest direction. I mean, also another good thing is to face the moon, of course, and look at the moon. And his stones, well, this, I'll get into it. Typically, traditionally, it's a moonstone. These are moonstone pearls. And conch shells. But also you can use selenite. Selenite is perfect for him. Oh, here's Loki Lofison, and here's the Joker. His colors are white and silver. In fact, to please him when you worship and do Chandra Puja, it's best to do it wearing white. And I have the image of the moon here. As you see that. I was debating whether to use a white altar cloth or this cloth to represent the moon. I figured to do this, so. Chandra's metal is silver. The best day to worship him, to begin Chandra Puja, is on a Monday. And it's best to do it in the evening. So, because he is the Lord of the night. He's the Lord who illuminates the night. Chandra rules childbirth and mothers. He's a god of mothers. So if you're having any situation with your mother, or if mother's having any situation with your children, because he also rules infants. He rules the infants. He's a god to go to. So any problems with infants and children, he's your go-to guy. Also, he's a god of fertility and pregnancy. He's a god of fertility and pregnancy in humans, in animals, in insects, in arachnids, like arachnids are spiders, plants, crops, flowers, roses, any type of fertility or pregnancy. So, and the moon, it is said that it is believed in that the moonbeams will help with pregnancy. So a woman would pray to the moon, and they'll have the moonlight shine upon them to help them with pregnancy. So if you're having problems with fertility or a hard pregnancy, you can contact Chandra. But also remember, I always say never to forget to go to your doctor and take the medicine as needed. Why must you do these things, Loki? So he is your go-to god for that. Now let's look at the back of the card. It says, salutations to the moon god. Salutations to the moon god who adorns Shiva's crown. His complexion is the color of curd, conch shells, and snow. Born of the ocean of milk, he is the bestower of the nectar of immortality. And he is good for blessings of purification of the blood, nourishment of the crops, subduing mental ills and anxieties, overcoming pessimism and madness. They're going to drive me mad, these cats. I'm going to be putting that back up. Why must you do these horrible things? They must. So for those who are facing crisis, mental trauma, those who have any type of anxiety, depression, PTSD, bipolar, schizophrenia, complex PTSD, and like I said, any form of depression, mania, DID, even a psychotic episode, Chandra is your go-to god, along with psychiatry, therapy, medication, over-the-counter, prescription, or even natural. He can be used for that, to calm the nerves, to soothe the mind. So if you're facing, whether it's just a case of sadness, or maybe you're overcoming loss, maybe you're dealing with a bad divorce and it's really affecting you mentally, emotionally, he is a god for that. He is the god for those who are in psychiatric facilities. These cats are going to drive me into a psychiatric facility. Would you stop? Oops. So he is your go-to god for that. They got all the crinkle toys up here and they're driving me nuts. He's the god for that. For those who want to do beauty spells, he's a god to enhance beauty. Oh my God. He's a god to enhance beauty. To inner and especially outer beauty. He is said to be a very handsome god. He is usually not in this type of form of full form. He's usually seen half form, half body, to show that he's either waxing or waning. His mount, as you can see, is an antelope. But also he has a chariot that's pulled either by antelopes or 10 white horses. Now, rabbits, so those are his mounts. Now, his animals are antelope, rabbits, and hares. In fact, all rabbits and hares are under his protection. So, his brothers, or Dusha and Dattatreya, he has 4 children that I know of: Varana, Saumaya, Bhadra, and Joitsnakali. So Maya is also widely known as Buddha. This one is spelled B-H-U-D-A with 1 D. And this god is the lord of Mercury and then of the Navagraha. So back to Chandra. He influences the infant stage, in which he guides and he helps with the personality. His element is water, and his main astrological sign is Cancer, which is the moon's natural house. In fact, he rules the 4th house in the natal chart in Hindu astrology. The moon and himself represents feminine creative energy. He is the second among the Navagrahas. Sorry, I said Navagraha. I'm sorry. Navagrahas. So he helps us with our thought process, or intuition, or emotions. He also can help us with psychic powers. He deals with thought. Okay, so he deals with thought, the subconscious, our dreams. He can help us with dream recall, to help us when we're having nightmares. He's the god to go to. He's the god to go to if you want to do lucid dreaming. He's your god. So any intuition, psychic ability to help you develop it, or to control it, or to enhance it, he is your god. He helps us with our soul. He helps govern and guides us. And like I said, he is a god of vegetation. But not only that, he's the god of thoughts and memory. He deals with thoughts and memories, with that part of the brain. He deals with the breast, our chest area. He deals the left nostril and our eyes. The breast, the left nostril, our eyes, our thoughts, and our memories, and our dreams. Chandra is very beautiful. He's usually seen as very pale, white, with 2 to 4 arms. Only 2 to 4 arms. And what he holds is usually a mace and a lotus. Once while he holds a pot full of amrita, but mostly a lotus and like a club, like a mace. Sometimes he is seen to, not in his chariot, carrying a red banner. But sometimes his skin is sometimes like bronze. His hair is dark and long. He adorns the crown of Shiva, but also you'll see him on different deities like Kali and also Gayatri. Shiva wears the moon on the crescent moon on his head. That he also deals with the lunar powers, but also it represents when Chandra was waning. He told Chandra, I'll wear you on my head so that you will be honored. And in a way I can uplift you. And it also represents that even though we wane, he represents lifting us up even in our lowest times. Shiva will lift us up. And in fact, Chandra really loves Shiva. And he said also to also gain Chandra's blessing is to worship Shiva. So not only just to call Chandra, but also Shiva. So his wives, he has 27 wives, and they are the Nakshatrapati, which they are the star maidens. They are the daughters of Daksha. But his favorite wife is always Rohini. And she's identified with the star Aldebaran. 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 There's a story, there's two stories I know of his birth. Once the gods and even the Asuras were churning the ocean of milk, and they did this for 1,000 years. And many gifts came out, many blessings and gifts, and sometimes even poisons came out of the ocean. Lakshmi came out, one of the gifts. Another gift, one that came as the moon, but it was so bright that it just almost blinded everybody. And the devas and had to put him out off the earth and out of orbit. He still light up the night, but that's where they put him because he was so bright. And in this way, they say that Lakshmi is like his sister because she came out of the ocean too. So his other birth is actually a longer story and has different versions to it. They are so distracting. Stop tearing apart the screen. So he is the son of the sage Atri and his wife, a very powerful woman, Anasuya. Atri and Anasuya. So before he was born, while Atri was, there's different versions of this. So while Atri was out by a river performing his prayers and his meditations, the gods and the gods that be knew that Anasuya was very powerful, but they also kind of feared that she would steal their heavenly treasures. Some say it was just to test what they did to her. So the Trideva, which is Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, decided to disguise themselves as old beggars, as sage old beggars, and they came to her home asking for food, and she gladly accepted them. She was very hospitable, and she accepted them, and she was cooking food. But they said before they ate it, or they have a weird thing that they cannot be served food unless it was by a naked woman. So she would have to disrobe and feed them food naked. So being a hospitable woman she was, because they wanted basically to take away her dignity. So what she did was she said, I'll gladly do that. She changed Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva into babies, into children, and little toddlers. And she disrobed and she fed them naked. Now, some say it was a test of her morals. So, but anyways, what happened was that Atri came and he saw the infants and he knew they were not normal infants. They were actually Brahma and Vishnu and Shiva. So And in another story, even their wives came and begged for her to change them back. However, Atri asked for a boon because they didn't have any children. And they asked that if they could have children. And of course, this boon was granted. And not only that, that they will come as an incarnation of these three children. Which again, they had three children, which was Chandra, Duvasa, and Dattatreya. So that's how Chandra was born in that story. Why does Chandra wax and wane? Well, once the moon was always full, always bright. And there's actually two stories I know why he wanes. The first one was he married the daughters of Daksha, the 27 wives. And Daksha said to ask Chandra to treat each daughter the same, that you will not favor one daughter over another. And he agreed. So Daksha allowed him to marry the 27 wives, which represents the 27 mansions of the moon. But he started favoring Rohini, and he spent all his time with her, not paying attention to the other wives. Well, the wives, the 26 of the 27 went to their father Daksha to complain. Daksha came to Chandra and he told him to stop it, but he didn't. Finally, Daksha got angry and he cursed Chandra, and he says, I curse you. I curse you that your power and that you will wane. For every day you will wane to nothingness. Well, it started to happen. The wives didn't want this to happen. They didn't want him to be cursed. They just wanted him to love them as much as he loved Rohini. Well, it turned out that kind of Daksha was sad what he did, but he said, once the curse is made, I cannot take it back. But however, you can go to Shiva and pray to him. So Chandra started doing Shiva puja and doing the mantras, and then Shiva came to him. And he said, Shiva, I've been cursed by Daksha. Can you help me? And Shiva said, well, I'm not undo this curse. However, this is what I can do, is when you are waning, when you've waned to nothing, you can rest your head with me, and that you will wax again. So, and then he'll wane and wax, wane and wax. Now, Shiva also put the crescent on his crown and said that, now you will be remembered by people. Everyone will see me, they will see you, and that I will uplift you. You will be blessed by me. Now, it says that when he's waning, he's away from Rohini with his other wives. And as he waxes, he is coming towards his wife, Rohini, his other wife. And remember, Rohini is his favorite wife. So that's just one story why he waxes away. There's another one. During a festive feast for Ganesha for his birthday, he was given a big meal by a sage, and he ate his favorite food, and it was such a heavy meal. He ate and he ate and he ate, and boy, can Ganesha eat. And he was with the other deities. He kind of felt embarrassed because his belly was so full. Well, he tried to hide his belly and everything, and he finally got on his mount, and he was on his way home. And for some reason, some say it's a snake that the rat saw. Either way, Ganesha falls off the rat. The moon saw this, and Chandra laughed and giggled at him. So it was certain. Sometimes it was a fight, or sometimes just Ganesha cursed him, or took up his tusk and threw it at the moon, or cursed him and said, "Oh, Chandra, because you have been so full of yourself, and that you laughed at me, and that you were full of pride, that your power will wane." And eventually it did. And everyone lost the moon. The people lost the moon. The gods lost the moon. And it is also said that, since Chandra is Lord of Night, it was day. And the gods went to Ganesha and they begged him to fix it. And he says, well, then now Chandra will wax, he'll be full and then wane again, to remember, so that he can be put right and so that he can remember what he did. But of course Ganesha made a curse, but he kind of like, okay, you'll wax, you'll wane, you'll wax, you'll wane. So that's why we have the waning and waxing moon in the Hindu stories. Chandra mantra, he has several mantras. He also has a Gayatri mantra. But his mantra is Om Sam Samaya Namaha, which represents that he is the nectar of the gods. That the gods drink his nectar. There's also another story about that the gods, the reason why there's another story, reason why he waxes wane, because the gods drink his nectar. But then he fills up again and he drinks. That's a lesser known story. But I thought I would say that, just in case you bring it up to me, well, you forgot that. So I didn't forget. But he is the god of nectar. He's the god. He's the god of Amrita. So there's also people have said that the Hindu moon god was originally female, and that images were made of him as male as when patriarchy took over. I don't know about that. I've only known Chandra as male, and there are male moon gods out there like Kansu. Danar. He's also called Sin. There is many moon gods out there. I just don't want to get off topic. Chandra is good if you're having blood issues. So like he said, he is purification of the blood. So if you're having any issues with the blood, you may want to worship, of course, get medical help, but also worshiping Chandra for that. Now, Chandra rules all infants, baby animals too. So if you got an issue, say, with your kittens or your puppies, maybe there's a bear cub you're worried about, Chandra is your go-to god. Chandra is someone that can help. Even pregnant animals. So if you're worried about your pregnant cat, your pregnant dog, the pregnant wolf, the pregnant tiger, he's your go-to god. And also since rabbits and hares or under his protection, it's if you know of rabbits that are being abused, or if you're interested, there are places that do adopt out rabbits and save them. So you can do that in honor of him. Adopt a rabbit or a hare, or donate money to any societies that help them. So another thing that's some of the things that he likes. So some offerings: white, anything white, white flowers, white roses, fruits or vegetables that are white. So let's just think of this: milk, could be sheep's, could be goat's milk, cow's milk, yogurt. If you're a vegan and you don't like working with milk, then you could give him hemp milk, almond milk, coconut milk. That's white, right? Coconut meat. He always likes fresh water. White chocolate, white candies, sugar, white sugar, white bread, any white breads, white cakes, whipped cream, cream. I said white rice, right? You can give them white eggplants. Why not? It's white. So anything that is white. Also, it said that to get on, if you're having problems with your moon sign, that, and also if you want to do something for him, you can donate white foods to a pantry, or donate white clothes to the poor. A white coat, a white sweater, white shoes, white socks. Seriously, white underwear, anything white. So he's gonna rule white with that, with wearing white and white foods. Just trying to think what else would be good for him. Silver. Offer him silver. Silver jewelry, silver coins. You know those Indian desserts? If they're silver foiled on it, like a silver foil, like silver, sprayed silver on it, you could give him that. White M&Ms, white Tic Tacs, white nuts, so it is said that if your moon is in a bad house and bad things are happening to you because of it, to please him by wearing white, and to also do his mantra. So before he was married to the wives of, to the 27 wives, he had an illicit affair with another god's wife. I don't know, and it almost caused a big war, a huge war in which Brahma had to stop. And I'm going to show you the god's name. And this god is the god of Jupiter. He's the preceptor of the devas. And where is it? I always have problems pronouncing it. Brihaspati. But I do want to show you his picture. And his wife was Tara. I think her whole name was Taramaka. Regardless, Chandra, there's different stories of what happened. That he either seduced her or he kidnapped her. Either way, she became pregnant. Brihaspati, the preceptor of the gods. So what it happened is, one story is we're at a yagna where Brihaspati did not attend for some reason or other, and Tara went in his place, and that as the yagna, the sacrifice, was going on, Chandra became more and more beautiful, in which she slept with him and he became pregnant. There's another story in which he abducts her, and at this point, either she willingly came to him, or the other thing, which is unthinkable, she becomes pregnant. And at this point, there is a fight between him. He gets all rip-roaring mad. I mean, he is just fucking pissed. He's pretty much on a rager now. He's gone angry, mad with anger. And he goes after Chandra, and Chandra is ready to fight him. And of course, the gods, the devas, take his side because he's the preceptor of the gods. Guess who takes the side for Chandra? None other than the preceptor of the Asuras, Kavya Mata. Which was pretty bad on Chandra's part. And there was going to be pretty much a war to end all wars. There is going to be death and blood and gore and total mayhem and destruction over this. And which Brahma had to stop it. However, damage is done. Tara is pregnant. There's a story where she would not reveal who the father was. Brihaspati wanted to know, and the son she gives birth to wanted to know. Which, by the way, Brihaspati was angry. He cursed this son. The son who becomes Somaya. Who is also Buddha. Not the Buddha, but Buddha. In which he will be androgynous. Now, so Maya wasn't happy with Chandra. They don't get along. In Hindu astrology, they do not get along. They clash. So, the god of Mercury isn't in Hindu astrology is androgynous. So before he got married, he had an affair. But Buddha, Somaya, is very beautiful, even though he's androgynous. So it showed that some gods kind of were angry at him for taking, for him siding with the Asuras, the enemy. You went to the enemy camp. However, Chandra, a lot of people don't know who he is. They just know that there's a name for Shiva, meaning he's, oh, I can't think of that name, but it means that he is he who wears the moon on his head. So he was very loved at once upon a time in India, but it seems like his fame kind of waned, so to speak. And it's starting to wax now. But a lot of people, if they don't know who the Hindu moon god is, they know who Shiva is, they know who Kali is, they know who Lakshmi is, they know who Saraswati. Chandra, who's Chandra? Now, interesting fact, that Chandra, as well as Soma, is a popular name for girls and women in India. That people would name their baby girls Soma or Chandra. I just thought you would like that interesting fact, and I wanted to throw it out there so that, you know, hey, do you know this is a popular name for women in India? Chandra. So, Chandra, it's also good when you feel like your thoughts are getting away from you, or maybe you're feeling more negative thoughts, or you feel angry thoughts, or depression feelings. If you're feeling your feelings are getting out of control, he is your God. So he's your go-to God if you're having those problems. He deals with the night. And it's also, oh, by the way, with that story of Ganesha, it is said to be bad luck to look up on the moon that one time a year with Ganesha's birthday. You should not view the moon. So not only is he a Navagraha, he's also a Dikpala, guardian of the directions. I'm going to throw that out. So as you know me, I don't use scripts or anything else like that. So it just all comes from memory of what I know about him. So you night owls will love Chandra, especially if you love the night. If you feel like you're a child of the night, or you feel your memory improves in the night, your thought processes improve in the night, that you love going out at night, Chandra is the Lord of Night. That's one of his names. That is one of his names. Rajanipati, the Lord of Night, or the King of Night. This also means the king. Raja is king. Rajanipati, the King of Night. I like that better. King of Night. Oh, King of Night. Hail to you. So he also deals with things that are hidden. Something else. So if you can't find so if something's hidden for you and you want to know more about it, you can ask Chandra to reveal, to show, and shine his light upon them. Now we know that the moon has no light of its own, but in the stories he's the illuminating one. And this is an interesting story, is that It is said that Chandra gets his blessings from Surya, the sun, and which he shares the blessings willingly, his light, with humans and gods and goddesses alike and all manners of creatures. So he distributes the amrita, his as well his boons and blessings. So, what else do I want to talk about Chandra? Chandra can also stabilize you, calm you down. It's another thing, if you feel like you are being distracted, ADD, he can help you with that. I forgot to mention ADD, because I got ADD, as well as ADHD. So if you feel like you can't sit down, you can't concentrate, you can't focus, Chandra's your god. Now, some sects of Buddhism also recognize Chandra. So even in Tibetan Buddhism, Soma and Chandra is recognized. So I know the 9th book of the Rig Veda has hymns to Chandra. And like I said, he was an extremely popular god once upon a time. Very popular. Now, Indra was also said to be an enthusiastic worshipper of Soma. There's actually another way of Chandra was born. Just think of this from so lesser known stories from Sage Atri's tears of happiness and jubilation. He gave birth to, out of his tears, to the moon, Chandra, and whose rays were full rays or very soothing. But that's like a lesser known stories. So another thing is Chandra deals with the tides of the ocean, the ebb and flow of the tides. And of course this element is water. He does deal with the oceans in that way. So Chandra can increase your intellectual capacities and mind power. Worshipping Chandra during a lunar eclipse is a good idea. And that's a good time to get boons from him too. And there's this like this whole big mantra that you do. But you can worship him and ask for his blessings. Especially this is a time to, especially during the lunar eclipse, to let go, to release the negative pent-up energies that you've had. He's good with that anyways, but it's good, especially a lunar eclipse. I wanted to mention that, so you forgot about the lunar eclipse and worshiping Chandra at that time. I didn't forget. I just, you know, I've had 56 minutes of this video, and it's pretty late here. It's like, what, 3:43 a.m. Oh my God. Night blooming jasmines are a good, like jasmine is a good scent for him. Because it blooms at night instead of in the day. I just thought, you know, the scents for him. So if you have any night blooming jasmines, it's good for him, the scent. Chandra can help you with marriage. There's actually a mantra for that. There's also to bring peace is a Chandra Chanti mantra, which is, just write it down. It's to bring peace. Not just mental peace, but peace, literal peace. A peaceful environment. Now Chandra he's praised for bringing good fortune, the source of all good fortune. Now there's also praises with him for being adorned with a blue flag. So I just thought I would bring that up. He's also known to be respectable and charming and virtuous. And it's also called, like they say, salutation, basically the Chandra to ones whose messenger is Shiva. He's also saluted for being swift. He's also saluted and given salutations for being ever compassionate. But he's also saluted and given salutations of being ferocious. So not only is he compassionate, but he's also ferocious. He's also a god who's said to wear a garland of prosperity. So he's saluted for that and given salutations for that. So he's a god that could bring spiritual peace and bliss. Peace and bliss, and to improve concentration. Oh, one thing I forgot, white cheese. Any white cheese. It's late. Anyways, this is going on for 59 minutes. And I want to thank you for staying and watching this for this long. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down. So, since I don't have a Patreon account, please think about helping baby animals or any charity that help infants and mothers. And so maybe you could donate clothes, especially white clothes. But donate anything you have to children or mothers, especially home. There are shelters that take in homeless mothers or women who have to escape from abusive situations with their children, and they can really use blankets, coats, toiletries, and it's like sanitary napkin. Well, I would just say stuff for their menstruation, diapers, baby wipes, towels. And that's good for baby animals too. They a lot of right. You know, you think about giving kitten food or puppy food to a place, to a shelter that can use it. Donate to Make-A-Wish Foundation and to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, because they help fight against cancer, and whatever they discover, they share with other medical facilities to help stamp out cancer and to help treat it at least. So think about that. And thank you so much for watching my video. Please share this video with your friends and family and Facebook groups. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, blessed be.